Can I get 2 of the 5-piece breast strip meals, mashed potatoes, and gravy? And can I also get 9 of your fried dill pickles and then some jalapeno popper?
What the heck is a fried dill pickle? They're frying pickles now?
I just don't want to be a burden.
It's already too late. You've been a burden for a long time.
She's still at least taking in 6,000 to 8,000 calories, maybe more. So you both are playing a game here.
Oh, wow. Hey, Frugivore. Welcome back to another 600 Pound Life reaction. This is season 6, episode 3, Alicia's story. Make sure you leave comments down below, react with me, let me know what you think. And if you haven't checked out my books, I have ebooks. There's a link in the description below. And I also do coaching and meal plan creation. So check that out and let's get straight into it, shall we? I'm excited. Alicia, what do you got for us?
No matter if I fail or if I succeed, I just want to know that you love me and that you're here.
Okay, so I'm not sure what that's about, but we're going to get into it.
Taking a leap of faith to change your life is stepping into the unknown. It feels impossible unless you're willing to replace fear with hope.
Replace fear with action. And education. Okay, so Alicia Kurgan, she's 32 years old, so she's a young woman still, 622 pounds, right. Let's go. Madison, is that Illinois? IL? We'll see.
Every day, I dread getting up because pushing myself out of bed each morning is the hardest part of my day.
I do not see a dog or a cat. I am surprised.
There are definitely days where it's just like, I wish I could just stay here. And
you can see how the obesity and morbid obesity, it ages people a lot. I thought she was she looks much older than 32 years old.
at the same time, that's also a fear that one day I will become bedridden. But it's painful to have to get up from bed. I'm always worried about my ankles giving out and collapsing.
Yeah, at 622 pounds, I would be too.
Because my joints and muscles barely sustain my weight. My body has reached a point that I can't even go a few steps without being winded. Because I'm the size of 5 people in one body, my
5 small people, yeah.
weight makes everything hard. And a simple task like showering can feel almost impossible. And it's hard.
Yes, we know about the cleaning under the folds is incredibly difficult. It's just such a challenge no one wants to face, and no one should have to.
To stand for so long in one place. So I have to take breaks and rest. I try to do this all on my own, but with it getting harder and harder, I know soon I'm going to need help just to do anything.
Wow, she is definitely holding a lot here. The apron, right? She's got the big apron fupa kind of going on. Oh, wow. Just how do you find things underneath there? That's what I want to know.
My boyfriend Tim started living with me years ago, but I refused to let him help me shower because...
Oh my God, TLC, honestly, do we need to watch this much of her in the shower?
I've never wanted to be that burden. The thought of having to ask him for help to care for myself is mortifying. And I can't have him see me like this.
because I hate my body. It's disgusting. And living in this body is my worst nightmare. When I see myself in a...
I think the worst nightmare would be being without the junk food, right? I think that's these individuals' worst nightmare, or else they would have changed it by now. If it was truly, truly that bad for them, they would have changed. That's the reality. And that's why a lot of people do. A lot of individuals, have you noticed in these series, they actually change. As soon as Dr. Now says, hey, I need you to lose weight before weight loss surgery, they lose weight. 99% of them do. So they had it in them all along. They just needed a bit of pushing.
Picture in a mirror, you almost would think, like, shouldn't that be enough to just stop and realize what it is you're doing? But I get so depressed by it that I go to what is the most comforting, which is food. And as far back as I can remember, food has always been what has consoled me.
Everybody's the same. We all like food. Food consoles us. Food makes us feel good. Food is all of those things for everybody. It's just that some of us have lower standards, less education, just are more impulsive, and don't make, obviously, the right decisions when it comes to meal times.
It makes me so happy that just seeing it and smelling it starts to help me feel better and helps with my anxiety. I feel like food is the one thing that doesn't judge you.
Oh, what? Yeah, wow. Okay, so that's a lot of donuts. Is she going to have that in one meal?
It never lets me down and never disappoints me. It feels...
So she's making out she's in a relationship with food. She's talking about it in that sense. But she's talking like she's different. Do you know what I mean? Like, food gives me this and that. It's like everybody gets this. Like, food is rewarding for a reason. Okay, yeah, there can be some addictive properties in some of these foods, some substances. But at the end of the day, it's rewarding for a reason, to push us to eat.
A void and emptiness inside me.
Yes, it's called a lack of vitamins in particular in living food. That's the void. And yeah, she's not filling it with the right food, obviously.
Eating donuts for me can be described as a sexual experience almost, because it is like, it's so fulfilling and it's satisfying.
That's because her life has so little purpose. She has so little purpose in life, sitting in front of the TV and just shoveling in the junk food. That seems to be the purpose. And taxpayers prop these individuals up because a lot of them don't work. So then they're stuck at home. It's like they're on the dole. In Australia, the dole, I'm not sure if it's called the same, but, benefits from the government. Like if you're just given money and you're not doing anything, it destroys people. They become even less motivated to actually get purpose and have a real life and contribute to society. It's a real downward spiral.
To be able to eat and enjoy this alone with nobody watching is the best part of my day.
And they shouldn't be allowed to do this. If you're getting taxpayer money, you should not be allowed to just squander it on junk food and make yourself more and more ill and just be more and more dependent on the system and cost people more and more and more. Do you know what I'm saying? This is really important to talk about this.
But once I start, I can't stop. And unfortunately, my addiction to food has only gotten worse over the years. Never in my life did I think this is where I would end up, at 600 pounds.
And it's not an addiction. It's not actually an addiction because, like I said, 99% of these people, as soon as they got Dr. Now, they go and see him. He says, I want you to lose weight for the weight loss surgery. I want you to do this extreme diet that requires extreme discipline. They do it because it's a choice, and it's always been a choice. And as soon as they have just a bit of pushing, bit of motivation, they change. And they even do extreme diets like Dr. Keto, Dr. Dangerous.
For 10 years, I suffered with chronic fatigue, cystitis, panic attacks, anxiety, and IBS. My husband caring for me in my 20s and doctors not knowing how to help me, other than seeing if removing my bladder would help, I began researching relentlessly, desperate to find something that would help. That's when I found Freelee. After trying what felt like everything to get out of pain, I decided to try her recommendations out of a fruit-based diet. Within 2 weeks, I was out of the pain I've been experiencing for over 10 years. After 4 weeks, my husband couldn't believe the change in me and decided to jump on board too and reversed his eczema. After 6 weeks, my energy levels were through the roof. So much so, I started exercising for fun. And to top it all off, I lost 4 stone, which I've kept off effortlessly for the past 8 years.
This could be you. I offer one-on-one coaching and meal plans on a fruit-based diet.
I started to put on weight at a young age. My childhood was very chaotic.
Welcome to the club. Chaotic childhood.
I remember feeling like our family was different than others because it was my mom that worked to support our family of 4, and my dad would go out to the bars drinking. So he wasn't really around much and didn't participate in our daily lives.
She doesn't look too overweight at this point. I mean, she doesn't look overweight.
And I felt like my mom was angry and had a lot of resentment towards him. So when he would come home, there was always a lot of fighting. And sometimes it would get loud and violent. And if it weren't for my Grandma Faye, I wouldn't have had anyone. Because she's really who I feel like raised me and took care of me. And when my parents would fight, she would try to distract me with ice cream. And I remember how it made me feel better. And so sugar became the thing in my life with my grandmother that I knew could make me feel better when I was afraid or upset.
Sugar. Here we go again. Sugar. So she's connecting the sugar up with like what would make her feel fantastic, which is true. Sugar does help you feel fantastic, but she doesn't realize that she's actually eating most of her calories from fat. So if she was getting fat, like she was saying, most of it's coming from fat. Fat is already in the storage, like the macro fat is already in the storage form of fat. That's why it's called fat. So it just goes to your fat. It's very simple process, and it's very highly efficient in the body. The majority of the fat you consume gets stored as fat, like effortlessly. You can see here that cake full of fat. Yes, it has sugar, but it has a larger percentage of fat. There's more fat.
And by the time I was 7, I was around 160 pounds. My mom began to hear from family and friends that there was something wrong with me, that I have a problem. And she felt like
Yeah, it's called irresponsible parenting.
I made her look bad as a mother. So she would scream at me for eating and told me I was getting too fat.
I started to worry about Alicia's weight in grade school. You would hear remarks from other people and wonder maybe I should be more worried than...
Worried. See, it's like she's kind of, I'm not sure if she's going to take responsibility here yet, but she's saying worried as in like her condition, her obese, her getting fatter. Like, but she's not saying as in like, oh, I should be like feeding her better. This languaging of taking responsibility. I'm the parent. I have the control over what the child eats. Hopefully we hear that from her.
I am. I thought maybe she would outgrow it, but she didn't.
Outgrow junk food.
So my eating just got worse because I was more depressed and I kept going.
Because you were allowed to eat rubbish, you're allowed to shovel it in. What sort of mum is she, just allowing the child to eat whatever she wants? Yeah, it's a lazy way, isn't it? Just buy the packaged food here, eat this, watch an iPad, get out of my face. It really annoys me because obviously at this age, she is not responsible for the shape she's in. Her mum is.
And I hit 200 pounds by the time I was 10. And that's when my life came crashing down. my grandma Faye was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I'd go
And probably to do with her diet or smoking, obviously, but,
to visit her daily in the hospital. But then one day, I could tell she was getting worse. She was hooked up to more and more wires. It freaked me out. And I left without saying goodbye to her. She passed away that night. She was the person I most loved, and I didn't get to say goodbye. But I had no one at that point. My mom was embarrassed by me, and my dad was barely around, and the only person who had loved me was gone. And eating not only helped me with the pain, but it made me feel like my grandma was back with me, because that's what we shared together.
she's using it to distract herself. It's multifaceted. She is malnourished. She's also using it to distract herself, to procrastinate, not to face the feelings, just ignore it, stuff the food down, and hope that pain goes away. Obviously, she's doing it for that reason as well. And just the malnourishment as well. They don't understand. There's no education on nutrition, so they think this is food.
So I would begin sneaking food at night. I didn't want my mom to see how much I was eating because she was already embarrassed of me. And I was eating constantly. So I gained another 80 pounds over the next 2 years. And I was getting close to 300 pounds by the time.
Terrible parenting, absolutely terrible. Should be taking her out for walks, taking her out to the park, exercising. It can help counteract some of this. It can help you feel better about yourself. And then you want to actually eat better as well, eat healthier. Just terrible parenting.
I was 14. Before I went to bed, I would pray that I would wake up skinny, but I was always the same fat kid in the morning. My mom was so ashamed, she put me in a weight loss club. I was really angry at my mom that she made me go to those meetings. And she would say, I don't want to go to this either. I'm doing this for you.
Oh, God, that mum is just painful, so painful. Throws her in some weight loss club, even though she knows that the source of the weight is coming from the junk that she's allowing her child to have. It's not rocket science. Anyone can make this, connection.
But they started to think that the only thing that mattered to my mom was my weight. I was just a number and no longer a person. And by the time I was 18, I was over 400 pounds.
Well, now you're an adult. You need to start taking personal responsibility too. There needs to be that point where you're like, hang on, I know I'm doing the wrong thing to my body here. I need to stop. So you're entering that time when this is relevant.
But my weight never held me back then. I still had friends and I'd still go out. I even dated. But then at the end of my senior year, a male friend who I had always had a crush on came over and we started messing around. And I eventually told him to stop and he didn't stop. And he raped me. I felt just really weak and helpless. And also I felt a lot of shame. I felt like I had no one to turn to. Who's gonna believe me? Who's gonna believe that he raped you? Because why would he want to? Fat girls don't get raped. And so I hid what happened from everyone.
Obviously, that's not true.
And I did what I knew. I ate to deal with the pain. When I was 20, my weight got to over 500 pounds. And I was no longer able to function like a normal person.
You had plenty of warnings by this point.
This is not the life I wanted her to have. I wanted her to be.
Wow. Hang on. So is this her mum here and her dad? Like they are all morbidly obese, basically. So hang on. The mum is speaking now.
Happy and active and healthy. Sometimes you lose control of what's going on and you don't realize it until it's too late.
she was half taking responsibility, I think, there. She's saying, oh, she wanted her to have an active life. And it's all very well to speak about these things and say, I wanted this and I wanted that. Look what's happened. You had many, many years to turn this around. This is just a lot of excuses from her.
So I dropped out of college and gave up my dream of being a kindergarten teacher. I felt like a complete failure. I felt like I was
So you can see how it affects their job prospects, because she dropped out of her dream because of her weight.
never going to have a fulfilling life. And I was contemplating suicide often. It would be my escape from all the disappointments. I was tired of feeling like a failure to my mom, to my family, and to myself. And the pain and struggle was becoming too much, and I just wanted to end it. And I think I would have done that, but that's when I met Tim. We met 6 years ago, and we connected quickly because we were both addicts. He was addicted to drugs, and so he understood my addiction to food and didn't.
Okay, this is going to be a problem. He's addicted to drugs, and she's making this comparison to food. It's definitely not the same, but okay.
Judge me.
When Alicia and I first met, what I did notice was just her carefree spirit, her laugh, and her size didn't bother me. And I really liked being with her because she was always laughing and smiling.
Well, some of these individuals, they say they didn't mind the weight, but that's actually why they're with them, because they are feeders. They are feeders. They're looking for the victim. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what he feeds her.
But now it's almost like she's a totally different person. And our relationship has grown stagnant. And as time goes on, Alicia doesn't want to do hardly anything at all. She just wants to sit in front of the TV and eat, which really frustrates me because
Yeah, and this is what people are supporting her in doing that. The taxpayers, the government is supporting her in doing that, which really needs to be looked at more closely, right? Why are they supporting this sort of behavior? Someone just destroying themselves and also being funded by the rest of the population in destroying themselves. Something's got to change.
have a life to live together.
Tim was addicted to drugs, but he got clean. And now I'm the one killing myself.
Well, you've been doing that the whole time.
Because I can't stop myself from eating. If there's any food in the house, I eat it, so we run out of food quickly.
And see, I used to be like this as well. I could not keep something like chocolate in the house or anything that was a little bit special, you know what I mean, without going there. It was always on my mind, and until I ate it, till I stuffed it in. You know, I couldn't have these like special things. That's a thing of the past now. But that was definitely part of my life, because I was procrastinating with food as well, but I was also malnourished because I was eating the incorrect diet, and I was also exercising quite a bit, so I was very hungry and I was trying to get skinnier, and I was calorie restricting. So there's a lot, it's multifaceted. She would be spending times where she's probably restricting, trying to diet, having like 1,000 calories, then binging out. It's a shocking cycle.
So when Tim's at work and we're out, the only way I can eat is to go get it myself. I can't wait
She's quite mobile for her size.
all day for him to get home. Going to get food is almost the only thing that gets me out of the house. The only thing I'm really living for at this point is the next meal. But it's not easy for me. I am the heaviest I've ever been. So getting into the car is painful and challenging, and I barely fit.
Yes, it's a sign that you shouldn't be getting in the driver's seat. Please stop these people. They are a risk on the road. Honestly, they should know this. They are a risk of a heart attack. Their coordination, their reflexes. One of you actually pointed that out in the comments, and I agree. Reflexes are going to be possibly delayed. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of problems with this situation.
I hate going to the grocery store.
Well, not that much because you're still doing it.
And I have anxiety about being in public because I have a fear of people judging me. And if it wasn't to get food for the rest of the day, then I would literally never go out. I can feel people looking at me.
So she'd literally never go out. So that's meaning she's not working or doing anything. I haven't seen any sign of work so far.
I can feel.
I mean, like, she can get a job on the phone. Like, remember Abby? Abby was bedridden for 7 years and he was still working. He was working as some tele consultant. She can do that too.
Their stares. I feel like an animal that people are looking at to see what I will put in my cart next.
Yeah, well, look what you just put in your cart. Like, what? Chocolate almonds or something?
But I ignore it all because when I see all this food, especially all the carbs and sweets,
the carbs and the sweets. There she goes again, carbs and sugar. The slimming aspect. See how society has completely screwed up most of the people because it's been saying, like, society's pushing this whole, like, carbs make you fat, carbs cause diabetes, carbs do this, sugar is so bad. It's all rubbish. It's a whole lot of propaganda, and I really work to undo this propaganda and bring the truth to you through these videos. So hopefully we can continue to do that. The part that is fattening that she has a problem with is the fat. The sugar just enables people to eat more fat because fat itself is tasteless. So you're not going to want to eat just a lump of fat, you know, or just drink some olive oil, are you? When you add sugar to fat with baking and stuff like that, it tastes like something. But you don't need that much sugar in order to make it taste better. So just keep that in mind. The sugar enables you to eat more fat, and that's how people get fatter. Not from the sugar itself, but the increased ability to eat fat, more fat.
makes me feel happy. Hello, how are you?
Wonderful, how are you?
Good, thank you. I get excited to know that I get to go home and eat this. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Thank you.
This is back in the days when TLC wasn't blurring the products, but we didn't get to see that much of what she was buying. Looked like some chips there, looks like some chocolate coated things, and I didn't see much else.
As long as I can remember, food has always been a part of my life. But now,
Hello. Food has always been a part of all of our lives, or we wouldn't have made it this far.
all I think about is food. If I'm out, it's almost...
That's because you got no purpose. You got no purpose in life. You have low standards for your life. You don't have a job to actually keep you stimulated and feel like you are contributing to society. You got too much time on your hands, and you're just feeling that with eating. You're filling that time with eating rather than actually, how about trying to find a job and purpose and actually, anyway, we'll get into it.
It's impossible for me not to stop somewhere and get something. It's okay. It's almost like a reward. Well, you reward yourself because you got out. So good job for getting out, walking around the whole grocery store. Now get some food.
What can I get for you? Can I get 2 of the 5-piece breast strip meals, mashed potatoes, and gravy? And can I also get 9 of your fried dill pickles and then some jalapeno popper?
What the heck is a fried dill pickle? They're frying pickles now? I thought pickles were what you just get in the supermarket. You know, they're like very, very bunker food. You put it in your bunker. Like it's just, but pickles can be quite nice. But fried? Huh?
All right, it's going to be $27.47. Thank you.
I know I'm eating a lot, but my hunger never goes away.
You're still not really eating a lot. This is the whole thing. It's not a lot of volume, but yes, it adds up to a lot of calories. Because of the fat, there's 9 calories per gram of fat, and there's only 4 calories per gram of carbs. So think about that. That means you can eat more than double the amount of high carb foods for the same amount of calories. You know what I'm getting at there? So that really brings up the amount of calories, but the volume of food, if you put the same amount of volume she's eating in high carb foods, it would be more than double the size. It would be huge. Hopefully that makes sense.
And once I crave something, I have to have it.
Thank you
Yes, because you haven't learned any level of discipline, it seems, at this point.
so much. Have a wonderful day.
She's got a nice car. How does she have that car?
Feel awful and like a bad person for doing it. But the truth is, I can't stop myself.
Yes, you can. And you know why? I already said it twice already. When Dr. Now comes into it, 99% of these people actually stop eating like they are and they change their diet and they start doing an extreme diet and they start to lose weight. So that's just a cop-out. That's just her being like, oh, you know, it's not my responsibility how I'm behaving. Yes, it is.
Definitely enjoy the food more when I know nobody's watching, because then there's no judgment. And they taste
You're always judging yourself.
really good when they're hot and fresh. I'm just gonna tell Tim that I got us an order of poppers to share.
It's not funny, sis. It's not funny. We need to change this. I mean, lying to your partner as well, I mean, I don't find that funny either.
I am not honest with Tim about how much I eat, and I hate that I'm lying to him. I mean, technically, that's not really a lie, because it is for us to share.
That is like a luxury car here in Australia. I'm just wondering how she has a luxury car like this.
He just doesn't know exactly how many were in there to begin with.
I mean, he can obviously see she's huge, and I mean, I think he knows. I think he knows what's going on.
When I get home, all I want to do is get this food in and eat, even though I just had something.
Yeah, because what you had like very little actual nutrition that you need for your body, and an over an abundance of fat, animal protein. It just is not satisfying.
And I beat myself up every day about it, because at the end of the day, it is my choices that have gotten me where I am.
Thank you. Yes, it is your choices. Keep thinking in those, like, taking responsibility ways. You know, this is the only way you're going to change, if you actually recognize it as your own behavior.
So once I get home, I reward myself with another meal, and I finish off the rest of the fast food I got. There is an empty void inside me that needs to be filled with food.
Wrong. It doesn't need to be filled with food. Yes, fruits and vegetables, real food, I would agree with that. But this void also needs to be filled with some purpose in life and some education. Purpose, like, she's not contributing to society. She is leeching on society. Let's be real here, isn't she? And I'm not saying she's a bad human and, you know, all of that sort of thing. What I'm saying is her behavior is bad. Her behavior is bad. She's leeching, and it's causing her to basically be punished for her behavior. So she needs to turn that around, so then she becomes rewarded for her behavior, and not through food, obviously, and not through junk food.
Hey, babe.
Hey, baby.
Your dinner's in the microwave
Thank
when
you.
you're done,
I
okay?
see that. Thank you for getting that for me.
You're welcome.
It's been frustrating watching Alicia gain weight over the years.
But she just bought you some junk food, and you're like thankful for it.
What she was able to do a year ago, she definitely can't do now.
Maybe you should be eating healthier and rejecting the junk food when she offers it to you.
I feel helpless in getting Alicia out of her addiction. I haven't cared about anybody in my whole life like I do Alicia. I don't want to watch somebody I love die.
She's just comfortable shoveling it in while he's watching her in despair.
I don't want to live with somebody who chooses to die.
I'm glad he said that. Chooses to die.
My addiction
It is like a slow form of suicide, you know what I'm saying?
has taken over my life and my relationship with Tim. And it has to be hard for him to know that at this size, I may not have much longer. And I can't bear the thought of leaving him.
That's not true. Or else you'd be changing it today, or yesterday, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like she's all like, I can't bear it. Your action, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. Your actions speak louder than your words.
But I am killing myself, and I can't stop it.
Yes, you can, and we'll see once you get to Dr. Now whether, yeah. We already know. I've spoken about it. We know they can change.
If I don't get help now, I feel like the next hurdle could be Tim trying to find a cassette that will fit my body.
Okay, Alicia is making the trip down to Houston in order to meet Dr. Now, a doctor that specializes. Yeah.
Today's the big day.
I'm impressed with her mobility, I must say. She's getting around fine. She wasn't in a, a chair in the supermarket or anything like that. She's not walking like she's in pain. She has a real opportunity now to turn this all around.
Tim and I will be making the long drive to Houston to see Dr. Now. And I'm very nervous and anxious right now.
All right, I got my bag loaded. You ready?
Yeah, will you give me my purse? No.
Yeah.
But I have Tim by my side, so I feel like I at least have a fighting chance to make it. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll be back in for you, all right?
Okay.
He probably does too much physically for her, like that, like carrying the backpack. You know, all these things taking away the challenge for her, taking away like the exercise as well. That's not good. Let him do it.
But my real concern is the effect that this trip will have on my body.
I'm really nervous about the drive today. Alicia, I don't think she's even probably prepared for how she's gonna feel. And so it's gonna be tough for her doing this drive. All right, boo, you ready to go? Car's all packed up.
All right. I know that this is going to be a long trip. It's gonna take a lot out of me, just being in the car kind of crammed up. It's always hard on my feet and my ankles especially.
Just don't let her drive, please.
For a regular person, the trip from Illinois to Houston could be done in one day.
Illinois. Yeah, I got it right. Okay.
But it will probably take us two. And we will need to make stops so I can take breaks to stretch out.
Let's just hope the car doesn't break down.
Alicia's health is riding on this trip and what the doctor has to say. I hope the doctor says, let's do this.
We have a unique situation here where the partner, he isn't really the feeder, is he? I'm not getting that vibe, and him himself is like a normal weight. So it's an interesting dynamic. I feel like the car is probably going to make it this time because he's probably taking care of it, and he may be using it for work.
I think if he says he can't help her, that it will be devastating for both of us.
Babe, I would really like to stop soon, so maybe like the next place you see, we could stop and just get out and stretch for a minute.
Of course.
No food?
I think that'd be good for you.
I don't like to burden Tim with my pain. And I have a tendency to internalize and hold it in until I can't take it anymore. I know he doesn't think this, but nobody wants to hear about how a fat girl is hurting. And I have conditioned myself to think and feel that way for so long. I just don't want to be a burden.
It's already too late. You've been a burden for a long time on other people as well. So she's delusional.
My foot really hurts.
Let me rub it. This side over here. All right there. Yeah, it sure looks bruised. Let me see that.
She needs to get some proper footwear. This is ridiculous. her foot being like squeezed into this tiny little ballerina shoe.
I'm so sorry, babe.
Tim has been very supportive for a long time. But I also know that this is hard for him too. We don't have the kind of physical relationship that he would like. And also that I would like to have. I feel really bad about that.
Not bad enough. Not bad enough. Here we go again. A lot of talk. You would have changed it by now. You've been with him for years.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I want to give him a life that I know he deserves. That we deserve.
Show us, sis. Show us.
But I'm afraid that I won't be around long enough for that to happen.
You're right. You're right. And don't get me wrong here. I will support these individuals to the end if they actually show that they're willing to take control of their own life and make some effort and not just leech off the community. And they all have it within them, and many have already shown this, and I've supported them. So we need tough love here, or else she is just going to destroy her own life, destroy his life, you know, and just be a real burden on society. So we don't want that. We need to go forward.
We made it to Texas.
That is well done. She is definitely dealing with this weight better than a lot of them.
My body is hurting from all this driving. And I can't wait to lay down and stretch out. I'm so happy to finally be at a hotel and to get out of this car.
So she said they don't have like relations, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, is it because he can't find the area? He can't get in there? I'm not sure how that must work, because it seems like this is the case with all of them. And I'm thinking that may be it, just the folds. He can't get in there.
I'm looking forward to getting a good night's rest and getting back on the road to see Dr. Now in the morning. Today, I'm meeting Dr. Now for the first time. And as I get closer to Houston, I'm feeling really nervous. I don't know what to expect when we get there. And I'm worried that my weight is too out of control. So I'm scared that we might have come all this way for nothing.
For nothing? Okay.
Tim has taken nearly a week off of work to make this trip with me.
There you go. There you go. He had to take time off work. The burdening.
It's such a sacrifice, and I am so grateful. I don't know what I would do without him.
She talks a lot. She has it all sounds great. It all sounds great. But action, Alicia. Let's see you. Let's see you. Yeah, get acting. Not acting, but taking action.
And always felt ashamed. And I remember the disappointment in my mom's eyes. I don't want to feel that disappointment again.
You just have to move on. Move on. Come on.
Wow. Seeing
that footwear is just criminal.
that number on the scale, it's hard. I mean, it's definitely not a number that I'm proud of. And it's embarrassing and feels shameful to have let it get that bad.
Good, and she should feel that. She needs to feel these negative emotions. She needs to face the reality. She's been just distracting herself, procrastinating so long that she doesn't experience these negative emotions. Now she's got it in her face. This is how much you weigh. Hello, and it should be embarrassing. It should be all those negative emotions. This can be the ultimate motivation for her to change.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you all doing?
Doing great.
All right, I'm Dr. Nazardin.
It's wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is my boyfriend, Tim.
Nice to meet you, sir.
And your name?
Tim?
Tim, okay. Nice to meet you. All right, so you are 622 pounds?
Yes.
And you're only 5'3".
Yes.
So 600 pounds on a person at your height is comparable to being over 800 pounds for a person of average height.
Wow.
So that's a lot of weight on your body. You're 32?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to know that you're not going to last like this.
I know. I don't imagine I would be able to make it to 40.
Well, I have to agree with you. So what does your eating habit look like?
I have a tendency to binge on dinner and then pretty much snack for most of the night.
Snack.
Binge on dinner and pretty much snack the most of the night. So I think what's probably happening is she's not even having a proper breakfast. Okay, and that's why I emphasize the breakfast, huge ass smoothie, get as much fruit, as much living nutrition in as you can in that smoothie, in that morning smoothie. Really tank yourself, okay, because it's going to make everything easier later on.
And what?
Chips, cookies, sweets, pretty much all the carbs.
So who?
All the carbs. This has to stop. Oh gosh, please help me. Help me from going crazy here.
Buys those?
I do.
So you're telling me Tim doesn't feed you and that you don't need enabler to gain like you have?
No, I prefer to eat alone when people don't know.
So how are you gaining all this weight on your own?
I'll snack when my boyfriend's asleep or something like that, where I feel like I'm not being
He's out hearing all the truth now.
judged or watched.
Okay, so how are you supporting your eating habit?
My boyfriend does work, so he's the one that kind of pays for the groceries, but I go and get them.
So
Okay, he is paying for the groceries, but she goes and gets them. Look, I also question whether she actually has a pension herself. I'm still questioning that because her obesity does cause her to have disabilities which qualify her for a pension. So you're not possibly getting the full story there.
you eat late at night and you eat a lot of high-calorie food.
Yes.
Okay. So Alicia, this is what we're going to do. I'm giving you 1,200 calorie, high protein, low carb diet with list of food you can eat and food you can't.
Okay.
No sweets, no sugary drink, and I want you to lose 50 pounds over the next month. Okay? Then I'll approve you for weight loss surgery.
Okay.
But even if you get weight loss surgery, we still have a lot of work to do. For now, I want you to show me that you're willing and able to start making the choices you need to do this, okay?
Okay.
We may have a difficult issue here with Alicia. It's not likely that she is at this weight and that there is no enabling going on. But if the people living with someone who is 600 pounds aren't helping to change their situation, then they are enabling it.
Thank you. That is really, really good. I'm glad he said that because that is true. You know, he should leave her if she's not changing, if he really cares that much, because he's not helping turn it around. So that is a form of enabling. Yep.
So I'm concerned she's hiding things from me. And maybe she and her boyfriend don't see the enabling dynamic. Both those scenarios are an issue that will make it more difficult to start to deal with her eating habits. But if she says she's the one doing it, then she's the one that can change it. So you think you can make all those changes?
Yes, I have to.
All right. Are you motivated to do this, Alicia?
Yes.
Then what's your motivation?
My motivation is my boyfriend, Tim.
Okay.
I want to be an active partner for him. And at my size now, I can't be.
That sounds like a good motivator. So show me you can do this, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll consider you for weight loss surgery. But then you'll both need to move to Texas for a bit.
Yes.
All right, and I'm going to see you in 1
No, seems to be all right with moving to Texas, but he has a job, so.
month, 50 pounds lighter, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll see you later.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's been a month since I saw Dr. Now. And this has been the longest month of my life. My whole life, I've woken up and been excited about what I could eat for breakfast.
Okay, so she isn't a breakfast eater.
But that excitement is gone now. For
Yeah, you need to find your excitement elsewhere.
breakfast, instead of donuts, I'm having a protein shake.
So she used to eat donuts for breakfast. Okay, so she's had a protein shake. That's strange because in season 12, Dr. Now was saying, no, you can't have the protein shake to Charles, was it? But back here, it seems to be part of the diet.
The shakes are a good way to control my calories. And I really find that the less I have to kind of think about it, the easier it is to do it without making an excuse to cheat or to give in.
I mean, a smoothie or a shake can be great if it has carbohydrates, not if it's a protein dominant thing, because it's just going to be really unsatisfying and quite a bit of work on your organs of elimination to have all this protein.
Because cravings come up all the time, every day. I think this is the longest I've ever gone my entire life without having sugar for breakfast.
Donuts, a lot of fat.
I definitely miss food. Get your chair. And not snacking has been really hard. But the hardest part is getting out of your own head. After the first week, I started having dreams of eating carbs.
Why do you think she was having dreams of eating carbs? Tell me in the comments.
Some days I'm like, God, I just wish I could have like a carrot. Like I just want something to snack on.
She can't even have a carrot? Come on.
I thought I knew how hard this was going to be, but I had no idea. I'm ashamed of how much I miss food, and the shame makes me feel even worse.
But you can see already she has made the choice, because it's always been within her power, the choice to have this protein shake for breakfast. So she could have done this without Dr. Now telling her to, but you can see, yeah, it's a choice.
And it doesn't help that I spend
There's the doggy on the couch.
all day by myself while Tim is gone.
Well, you can get a job, you know.
Since I saw Dr. Now, my diet is going well. For breakfast and lunch, I only have protein shakes. But I try to always have a real dinner for Tim and I. I'm eating to just live now, instead of eating for fun. And that's definitely been a change, but I try to find things that are still enjoyable, but healthy.
It's just sad that there's not any actual real nutrition. There were some mushrooms and greens, but this is like nothing compared to what she needs. Absolutely nothing. Where's the fruit? Seriously, Dr. Dangerous.
How long we got?
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just letting it simmer together.
Okay. You sure you don't need any help?
No.
He probably doesn't want to eat no carbs, that's for sure.
I'm hoping that if I lose the 50 pounds Dr. Now wants, he'll tell me to move to Houston and approve me for surgery.
But when you've lost those 50 pounds, you proved it to yourself that you could do it. And you can continue as well on a proper diet. But you know what I mean? They proved it.
Tim works so much and goes to bed so early, dinner is about the only time we get to spend together.
Yes, because he's probably getting around town a bit, if you know what I mean. He's not getting it at home, so.
I want us to enjoy our home as much as we can before we have to leave it behind.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I would describe Alicia and I's relationship at this stage of the game as strained. I was hoping this would bring us closer, but right now it feels like we're more drifting apart than getting closer.
And that's interesting because he is part of that enabler dynamic before, the previous enabler dynamic, but also the fact that they don't have carbs. They're not having enough carbs in their diet. He's not having enough carbs either, so that's going to strain them even more because that's the body and the brain's number one fuel. So if you take the fuel away, then there's going to be a strain. There's going to be a lot of ketoacidosis flying around.
She's definitely subdued because what she's going through. She's pretty quiet these days.
Yeah, she got no carbs.
I think being hungry and not being able to eat the things she wants has been hard on her. I hate to see you being distant from me, as I'm not used to that.
I mean, in all honesty, right now, I really have to be focused on myself. So I kind of have to put a distance.
Well, you're pretty strong to put me out of your mind.
It's hard. It's definitely not easy. With Tim and I, there's been a lot of not really knowing what's going to happen next. But dinner is really the one time of day that we get to spend together. And now, because of this diet, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to.
And neither does he either, because that was kind of gluing them, the last bit of glue, keeping them together in the relationship, right? That junk food connection.
Thank you.
He does too much for her. See how he took the plate and put it on the table? This and that is enabling. You know, he should be allowing her to actually use her own energy to do that.
If Dr. Now takes me on as a patient, would you be excited?
Yeah, I'm excited to see you get healthy and be able to do all the different things that you want to do and what we want to do together. What would you like to do with me?
I mean, basically, it just comes down to, like, being able, like, to go out and feel comfortable, like, being around people and not worried about, like, what people are thinking or saying about me, and just feeling comfortable, really, in my own skin and all the stuff that I look forward to once I can get my weight down.
But he actually said, "What do you want to do with me?" I think. And she didn't say anything.
Well, it's going to be exciting and scary for the both of us.
Yeah.
My hopes are for us to have a better relationship.
He is so carb deficient.
I want to be able to smile and laugh and live life together like all the other couples.
There's so much that Tim and I haven't been able to do because of my weight. If I'm going to have a future with Tim, I have to see this through and hope that when I see Dr. Now next, he approves me for surgery.
Okay, Mum 2, I'm going to have to move this on a bit.
Today I am headed to see Dr. Nazardin for my follow-up appointment to see how I have progressed with my diet. Dr. Now wanted me to lose 50 pounds in a month.
We will see. Okay, so 50, she was 622 pounds, so you can do the math. Better than nothing. She's going to get semi-roasted by Dr. Now, but like 18 pounds again shows it was in her control. She lost the weight. She did it. She made the choice. I mean, that's probably the first time she's lost that much weight ever.
Disappointed. The goal was 50, so to not reach it is a little disheartening. So I'm just really nervous and anxious about what the doctor will say about missing the goal. But I definitely tried my hardest.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Doing all right.
So you only lost 18 pounds this past month. So what happened?
I felt like I did really well the first week, but I also felt really depressed after the first week.
So you started the diet, then got depressed. So you did what makes you feel happy and started overeating again, huh?
Yeah.
Even though it's killing you.
I feel like my portions were probably too large. So to try to cut back on my portions, I started doing
I think there's a bit of sneaking eating going on.
a protein shake in the morning and afternoon, and then just having dinner to try to help rein in my portions.
Okay, that wasn't the diet.
Okay, so the protein shakes have never been part of the diet, it seems.
That was the diet you invented. Why did you come here if you just want to try your own plan? That hasn't worked so far. Why do you think that is going to work now? So you're still overeating, just instead of 8 to 10,000 calories a day, you're eating 6 to 7,000 calories.
Probably not.
The diet is 1,200 calories a day, no exception, you understand?
It's just a terrible diet. I understand why she'd have trouble with it. I'm impressed that she lost 18 pounds, really, just sticking to that rubbish diet.
It sounds like Alicia couldn't even go a week without running to food. So she needs to try again to hit her goal. And I want her to maintain positive progress for 2 months to show me she's willing and able to control herself. Okay, Alicia, you didn't hit your weight loss goal. So you're not approved for weight loss surgery at this point. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to lose 70 pounds over the next 2 months.
Okay.
No more inventing new diet, okay?
Okay.
Then I want you to move to Houston, okay?
Thank you.
And Tim, haven't you heard it said that if you're not part of solution, then you're part of the problem. So let's do
Oh, I love that.
better at that, okay? Your ultimate goal and your height will be 120 to 130 pounds. So we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
He's got a smile on his face. We got a long way to go.
Yes.
I'll look forward to seeing you in Houston.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's move it on.
Tim dropped off our dog with my parents this morning, and the reality of our move finally sunk in. This is
Okay, they're moving to Houston.
definitely a huge deal for me. I've never been any kind of real distance away from my family. I'm also starving because I've skipped all the junk food on the road. So I'm ready to get to the house we're renting in
Good on her.
Houston. It's fully furnished, so all we have to do is take in our stuff we have.
Okay, let's get there then.
Whatever Dr. Nazardin needs me to do. But what if I fail? And what if I can't do this?
Okay, let's just move on to the action, shall we?
He gave me the goal of losing 70 pounds by the next appointment.
Yep.
I know Dr. Now wants me to eat 3 times a day, but I usually skip breakfast. I would prefer a larger meal at dinner because
Yeah, that's a problem.
if I feel fuller at night, then it helps me to not feel the need to snack.
No, that's the whole problem. She's not full at the start of the day, so she's snacking later after dinner even because she didn't get enough during the day. It's very, obvious.
Feel pressure to prove to Dr. Now that I'm worth his effort and I'm worth his expertise. I definitely want him to approve me and to get the surgery as soon as I can so that I can start experiencing life and start really doing things. So I have.
Yeah, so this just proves that it just takes the right motivation for someone to get out of this situation that she's in. You know, she's saying, I want to prove to Dr. Now. She can do it. It's always been within her grasp. All right, we have another weigh in.
Kid, and it's horrible now.
Recent weight, 14 pounds. He wanted 70, girl.
That is not even close to the goal. I feel like I've let myself down.
Well, you've let everybody down, but we know you're on a really, really restrictive, crazy diet.
And worse, I feel like I've let Tim down. It feels frustrating to not reach the goal, and definitely to not reach it by so much.
Hey, y'all doing?
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, so you had 2 months this time, and you did worse. You only lost 14 pounds.
With the move, I think I gave myself kind of some excuses that the packing and the moving was enough exercise.
Well, having things going on is called life. There is always going to be stress and a lot of things going on. And if you're waiting for all that to go away, then you're never going to make any progress. So let's talk about a couple things. First, what seems to be the biggest challenge you have with this diet?
The biggest challenge for me is my portion control. I think that I still sometimes in my mind feel like I need more than
Yes, you do need more.
I do. Like my mind is still telling me like that's not enough food.
You tell yourself that this is all I'm gonna get.
Yeah, like
since
it's the last
she
meal.
doesn't,
Like, oh, that's
she
not.
doesn't snack at all, so she feels this is all I'm gonna get, so she makes the portion then bigger for the dinner.
No, that's wrong, Tim. If you actually think she's not snacking, then she's hiding it from you. She's still at least taking in 6,000 to 8,000 calories, maybe more. So you both are playing a game here. You
Oh, wow.
can seriously think you're not eating enough, Alicia, so you both are making excuses for this.
Okay.
But if you think you're not using proper judgment eating, then let's educate you. I'm going to send a dietitian to your home and get you some guidance on the choices you're making.
Okay, they're going to send a dietitian. Let's have a look.
So I understand you're having some questions or about your diet or some problems. What seems to be going on?
I feel like for me the hardest part is portion sizes and just really understanding what exactly a 1,200 calorie diet would really look like.
I just think that we need to educate you on what is 4 ounces and what is this and how do I place this meal together. And you want it to taste good because you don't want to feel deprived. So why don't we go look and see what's inside the...
If a dietitian recommends a no carbohydrate diet, like he is recommending, like a keto diet, like that is like just criminal.
fridge.
All right, sounds good.
This is not what they learnt in school.
So let's see what we have in here. Some of the definite things we need to stay away from. Mayonnaise, calories is 100, calories from fat is 100. So this
Yeah, she's talking about fat now. Good.
is
All
just
fat.
definitely not a good choice.
Okay.
So this is not good.
Okay.
So show me some of the things that you tend to use throughout the day for your seasonings or whatever.
Okay, I do have some dressings.
I need to come and do this job. This could be my job, going and checking out the fridge.
I have a light Northern Italian.
Okay, so the calories is 45, but the calories from fat is 40. So this is about 100% fat.
Yeah.
So
Good.
even though it says light, that does not mean it is low fat. And we
Okay.
want to try to consume foods that are only 20% fat or less.
Well, this is really interesting now. She's definitely going against Dr. Now here.
So this is something we want to not use.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's grab measuring cups, Tupperware, and let's figure out how to divide the portions.
All right. Close this up. I have to start changing the foods I eat, but I know it's also about how much I eat as well.
It's not. It's about the actual source of the calories from fat.
Perfect. Right now, you can do 3 to 4 ounces.
The thing is, when you change the source of the calories, you just automatically eat less calories because it's coming from carbohydrates. So it's just great in that way.
Ounces of protein. 4 ounces is like a half a cup. So what you could do is just put it into the little dish. I don't mind, just kind of fill it up. It's almost 4 ounces. And then when you dump it in here, you can kind of start seeing what 4 ounces would be.
Okay.
You can
What is that? That's just going to not even do anything in a stomach.
eyeball it. If this was filled up, then that's like 2 servings. I think that's gonna be good information to help you get where you wanna be.
This was a lot to take in. I didn't realize all the things that are really bad for me. Thank you.
Bye.
She's going to be more confused than ever.
Just how many extra calories they add to my diet. It's all good information, really. But knowing and doing are completely separate things.
Yeah, let's go. Month 5, people.
We're headed to Dr. Now's office for a checkup, and I'm hoping that today is the day I finally get approved for weight loss surgery. I'm anxious because every time I've seen Dr. Now, I've lost weight, but never as much as he wanted me to. I've been following the nutritionist's advice and really watching my portion sizes.
Yeah, we'll see.
My weight loss goal for this past month was 45 pounds.
Alicia Kiergan?
So I am really hoping I am below 545 like I'm supposed to be. Because if I don't meet the goal today, I don't know what else I can do. And I'm
Get rid of those ballerina shoes.
terrified that everything I've done and everything Tim has sacrificed to help me will be for nothing.
You go. Oh, good on her. Like, seriously good.
Nice job. That's really exciting. I can't believe I finally did it.
That's the thing. She can't believe she did it, but she did it herself.
It feels so good to finally meet
And any of you out there can do the same. Just not on that terrible diet, please, because we need to be able to sustain it then.
the goal that Dr. Now set for me. I feel like I had a really good weight loss, and I'm just excited to see what he has to say. And I just hope that this is finally enough to get me approved for surgery.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. Doing good. Just trying to stay on track.
All right, so you're down to 538 today.
Mm-hmm.
You finally met a goal and lost a significant amount of weight.
Yes.
So you feel like you have better control of your eating habits right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. But we still have a lot of hard work ahead of us. But you've shown me a willingness to do some of that hard work. So I'm approving you for weight loss surgery today.
Okay.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. He's proud of her. It's like I want to be so happy for the whole situation, but it's just such a train wreck. As in, she's going to get her stomach cut now, which is obviously not good. He's given her a terrible diet, which is unhealthy, calorie restrictive. So she's lost a lot of water weight, but at the same time, it's like, hey, how can you not be happy? You know, she's finally actually made an impact on her weight, a positive impact.
Yeah.
It's taken her a little while.
She got beautiful hair too.
But Alicia has finally taken some responsibility and refraining from giving into her emotions. I'm happy to see the progress she's making, and I'm hopeful she finally is headed in the right direction.
Okay, so she's getting the surgery.
And it's hard to believe that it's finally happening.
Here she is.
I am excited, but I'm scared too.
Hi, baby.
Oh, you made it.
You made it.
How you feel?
I feel all right now. Everybody's
Wow. Yep. He's obese too, maybe morbidly.
Been asking about you, praying for you.
Yeah. Tell everybody I love them and thank you.
It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
I love you. Thank you. I'm grateful that Tim is here by my side and that my parents have made the journey down to Texas to be here for the surgery.
Love you.
It makes me feel so much better for what I'm about to go through.
Okay, she's going in.
To 40 pounds in the first month. But the hard work for Alicia starts now. Because if she tries to overeat too soon after surgery, she could seriously hurt herself. So we need to keep a close eye on her.
Okay, she had it. Successful. Month 7.
Since surgery, I had some tough days. I've been on a clear liquid diet, which is basically just broth, sugar-free popsicles, and sugar-free Jell-O. I have been
Sugar-free, because sugar is the devil.
on that for a week outside of surgery. After that, I can move to like thicker, full liquids than pureed foods before I can finally start to have regular food. Hey, babe,
Yeah?
can you help me get this broth down?
Yeah.
Thank you. I think the biggest shock for me after surgery is the fact that I really have no appetite. I thought there'd be a lot more desire to have what everybody else is having.
It's all the way up there. All right, shorty.
I had a lot of concerns of like, God, I'm gonna be on this liquid diet for so long. Babe, are you hungry at all? You want a snack or something?
Yeah, I'll probably just eat a little bag of chips.
Great.
And my whole life has been focused on food and what I want to eat and what sounds good to me. And now it's really not about like what sounds good, it's just eating, just what
Good. She needs this lesson.
you need to live, which
But you should enjoy your food, and you can when you eat carbohydrates, the pasta, the potatoes, the rice, the sugar, the fruit. It is enjoyable, and your taste buds change after 2 weeks. You start to get different taste buds. Things change, and you should always be able to enjoy your food. But on this diet, it's just like deathly.
is so new. Here you go.
What you giving me?
Just kidding. There you go.
They do have a bit of a cute relationship. He called her shorty before when she couldn't reach something. I thought it was cute. Okay, let's move on. Month 8.
It's been a couple months since my weight loss surgery, and I'm still making progress. But my cravings have been starting to come back. And lately, it's become a real struggle with me.
Hi, baby.
Hi, babe. And the temptation to try and overeat has been the worst after I talked to my mother. So I realized she's one of my triggers. And I shared that with Tim. So he thinks now that I need to talk to my mom about it.
Month 9, current weight 494 pounds. Recent weight loss 7 pounds, total weight loss 128 pounds. I am proud of her too, especially sticking to that terrible diet. So she has some serious discipline. She didn't even know she had it inside.
This past month, things have gotten harder. I know I've been running to food more and giving in to my cravings some. So I decided to do what Tim has been encouraging me to do. So I'm going to travel back home.
Perfect. So tell me how you feel.
Feel good? Surgery definitely has helped kind of keep me in line and keep the weight loss
Like her mum is morbidly obese as well.
Really
going.
won't let you eat
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah. But, since surgery, just really been kind of reflecting on a lot of different stuff and thinking about things and like my childhood and really trying to figure out like kind of like when the weight started coming on and like what I felt like maybe that was from, I love you and I know that you always tried, to do your best, but I definitely had some feelings like when I was younger that like I wasn't good enough. It was all about the weight, that unless I was, like skinny, then I wasn't like, it didn't matter as much. I wasn't as important. I felt like I was kind of like the disappointment.
No, I always wanted you to be happy. I know what it's like to be overweight, and I just wanted you to be healthy. And I
Yeah, but you were feeding her rubbish.
didn't know how to help you. I couldn't help myself.
That's a problem. Lack of education, lack of motivation.
We tried different things and just couldn't keep it off.
I mean, but eating cookies and eating crisps and eating like donuts is obviously unhealthy. Like there's some obvious stuff here that people like her are just like, I don't know what it was. It's like, come on, yes you do.
I just feel like, like all the stuff you tried it felt like it was like for you. Like you wanted me to be skinny so that you wouldn't have to hear it from other people about like what kind of parent you were because I was so heavy.
I didn't mean to make you feel that way.
There were definitely things that made me look at myself differently, my self-worth. And that was hard for me, as a kid. No.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenging situations when you're a child. Yes, there is. Yeah, we'll move on because, look, at the end of the day, you're an adult. You have to get past that. That is in your past. You have to let go, punch out of your comfort zone, and get shit done at the end of the day. And that's what she's doing now. So I don't think she needs to digress here.
We had a talk, and what we realized was that our only time together was dinner.
Oh, now they're exercising together.
And we just sat and watched TV until we fell asleep. So he's making it a point to take off work a couple times a week to go to the park and exercise with me.
That's excellent. This is really good.
And it's not only helping me stay on track, but it's helping us grow closer together.
I think Alicia is doing really well since the surgery. There's no way a year ago that Alicia could have did what we did today, walking through the park. And she wouldn't have even attempted it. It's just unreal to see Alicia push herself.
I love that.
It's just new, brand new. All right, good job.
I'm feeling really good right now. I just hope my progress is as much as I feel it is. Because I see
That is really good.
the doctor now again for my next appointment soon. And I'm a little nervous. If I'm not back on track, then I'm going to be really discouraged. So I just hope I'm losing like I was right after the surgery. Because if I'm not, then I don't know what else to do.
Yes, you do, but you've been doing it.
Ever since talking to my mom, I feel like I've been doing better. But I'm nervous to step on that scale today. And if I'm not making much progress, it's going to be pretty devastating to me.
She got some beautiful hair.
And my fear is that it's all out of my control again.
She's moving around just like every day a normal human. Just like a normal weighted human.
And there's nothing I'll be able to do to fix it. No, until you get on that scale.
452.
Yeah.
Whoa. I am genuinely so proud of her. It's really, really good.
Okay, come with me.
I haven't been this low in a long time, and I'm just beyond excited, and it really feels like this is the start of my new life.
Yeah, she needs to feel this excitement, right? Just needs to feel this. And then she'll probably want to get a job. She'll probably want to go out more. It just can snowball in a positive way.
Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Doing good?
The smile on her face says it all. That's so cool.
How are you?
Thank you.
I'm doing well too. So Alicia, today you're down to 452, and this is total of 170-pound weight loss. How do you feel?
Incredible. It's hard to even put into words the difference that I feel now.
Well, I'm proud of you. If you stick with it, then you'll be ready for skin removal soon.
Wow.
And then we'll have you close to your target weight and around 150 pounds.
Wow.
And Tim, you're supporting her like she needs. So I'm proud of you both. Good work, and I'll see y'all later.
Thank you so much.
See y'all later.
Have a great night.
You too. Alicia,
This has been this has been a real turnaround. I'm so happy to see this.
I didn't have the best start. It took her a little while to get committed. But once she did, she worked hard and stuck with it and hasn't been afraid to deal with the issues she needs. She still has a ways to go. But right now, I'm very happy with her progress and how she and Tim are doing. And
Thank you for making Dr. Now happy, Alicia.
feel confident we can get her to her target weight this next year.
One year later. Current weight 436 pounds, lost in surgery 76, total weight loss 186 pounds. So this is great. This is really awesome. And I just want to take a moment here to just emphasize the fact that it can take you years, okay? If you're coming from obesity, morbid obesity, even just binge eating like I was, it can take years. It took me up to 3 years for my weight to stabilize, okay? So don't expect... There's so much instant gratification, so many lies in the diet industry making you think, oh, you can get your results in 6 months. You know, oh, well, you know, this is easy. 6 months is all it takes, and then you'll be in perfect shape. And this is just a lie most of the time, okay, depending on how much you got to lose. So just be realistic. Remember, it didn't take you overnight. It didn't take a couple of weeks, a couple of months even to get to where you're at. It took you probably many years. So just expect that it, just be realistic. That's what I'm saying.
You look good. You look good with that, too.
Thank you. I feel very Hollywood. Very glamorous. Ready?
Yeah.
Today, Tim and I are going on a date. Yeah? We've been going out more together and doing a lot more, and it's been fun.
Just avoid the restaurants.
I feel closer to Tim than I have since we first started dating.
I'll get the door for you, beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You reminded me of Trisha Paytas.
Dr. Now says I should be ready for skin removal in a couple months. And that could take off as much as 40 pounds. So I'm excited about that. My future and Tim's future are so much brighter now. And I'm thankful for the past year and for all the ways my life has changed for the better. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no going back. We're headed to Market Square Park to enjoy some of the lights that they have displayed. And
Good. Okay, we're going to leave it there. She's happy. She's excited. Yep. And it's not something that she's doing that includes food, right? They're doing other things like going and seeing the lights in the park, going for exercise. Make your routine not surround food all the time. Like when you go and meet up with people, it doesn't have to be at a cafe or a restaurant. Do something else. So yeah, this was a surprising, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I never really know what to expect at first because there's a lot of excuses, a lot of lip service, a lot of this and chatting. I want to hear the action. I mean, I want to see the action. Okay. That's what I believe. I don't believe the words. I believe the action. And she pulled through even with such a terrible diet from Dr. Dangerous. She had to follow, like she still pulled through and she disciplined herself big time in order to lose a lot of weight before the surgery. And then after the surgery, she's continuing to discipline herself. It just breaks my heart that this is not a long-term sustainable way to do it. I really hope these individuals, like, I know, like when you check up on individuals, like these people, you can find that they have actually stuck to the weight loss and lost more weight. But whether they can actually keep it off the rest of their life is the true test, isn't it? You know, and be satisfied and be healthy. And when they follow these like keto diets and low carb diets, it's just a disaster. It's not a good long-term solution. That's what I'm saying. So check out the Raw Till 4 diet or a fruit-based diet. You can eat all the carbs you care for. You can feel satisfied. You can eat so much more volume on this lifestyle. And it'll keep you lean like it has for me. I've been on it for over 17 years. in January, it's going to be like 18 years. It's been a long time, and my weight has been really stable. The first 3 years or so, it was fluctuating. It took me time to get the weight down, but then once it's off, it's off. It's great. So yeah, that's my message today. Check out my books and my services. There's a link in the description below. And yeah, don't forget to go fruit yourself today. Good to watch it with you. And I'll see you for episode 4. Yeah. Season 6, episode 4. All right. See ya.